guys. All right, welcome to the Unit 8 Geometry Test Review, going over surface area, lateral surface area, and volume. Those are our three topics for our exam. So for your exam, you'll be able to use the graphing calculator and the formula sheet, as well as your completed review, all during your exam. So the formula sheets I have are laminated and they're left over by the calculators on that table over there. So please make sure you grab one for your test and while you complete the review. And I only have enough for each class period, so please be sure you return that to the table. All right, let's get started. So to begin, our first question says, the radius is 4. Find the total surface area of the following figure. So radius is 4, that's our r, right? So r equals 4. Now, this here is a cylinder. So we're going to look at total surface area, TSA, for the cylinder. This is on your formula sheet. So we go down to the cylinder. It says total surface area formula is 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. Okay, so now to calculate this, we said our r was 4, so 2 pi times 4 times our height. Now the height of our cylinder is here, which is 10, plus 2 pi times 4 squared. All right, so just to simplify this a bit, you don't have to do this because you will have a graphing calculator, so you'll be able to type this just like this. You'll be able to type that in your calculator all in one go and get your answer. But I have just my phone calculator here at home, so we get 2 pi 40 plus 2 pi 16. 2 times 40 is 80, so we have 80 pi plus 16 times 2 is 32 pi. 80 plus 32 gets us 8, 9, 10, 11, 112 pi. Well, 112 times pi gets us our answer of 603.19 centimeters squared. Remember, when we are finding area, we are units squared. And when we find volume, it's units cubed. Okay, I'm not going to break it down like this for every problem. I'm just going to give you the formula, plug in my numbers for the formula, maybe an explanation, and then give you the answer. Okay. Okay, so number 2, find the lateral surface area. So we're looking for LSA of this figure. Now, notice how this pentagon here is our base. And then we have all these triangles that has a big point right here. So since we have one base, this is a pyramid. And the exact type of pyramid, this is a pentagonal pyramid. So our lateral surface area for a pyramid, the formula is capital P times L divided by 2, where P is the perimeter of the base. So we just said that this pentagon here is the base. So we need to find the perimeter of that base. So if this side is 9, that means all the sides are 9. And there are 5 sides. So the perimeter would be 9 times 5. So a total of 45. Or we can think of it as 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. But that's a lot of steps there. So 9 times 5 is 45. So now we're going to plug this 45 in for P here. And we also need our our slant height. That's what L is. If you look at the bottom of your reference sheet, there are explanations for what all of the different letters or variables stand for. So our slant height is going to be here, the 12. So we have 45 times 12 divided by 2. That is going to give us our lateral surface area of 270. Perfect. And just as a reminder, the lateral surface area? Lateral surface area is the area of the faces. So that's all of the sides without the bases. So area of the faces, no bases. Total surface area is the area of all the faces and the bases. So that's the difference between the two. All right, so for the next one, find the total surface area. So we're looking for TSA, and this is a triangular prism. So a prism, formula for total surface area of a prism is perimeter of the base times the perpendicular height plus 2 big B, 2 times big B. So perimeter of the base. Our shape here is a triangular prism. So our base is always in the name. Our base is a triangle. So how do we find area of a triangle? Oh, I'm just kidding. We need to find the perimeter first. Perimeter of the triangle. So here, this triangle tells us that the sides of the triangle are 8 and 8. What is the base here of this triangle? Well, it says right here, it's 10. So our perimeter is going to be 8 plus 8 plus 10. We're just finding all the sides of the triangle and adding them together to find the perimeter. Remember, perimeter means the outline. So here our perimeter is going to be 26. Sorry, 8 plus 8 is 16, so 29. 26. Yeah, that's what I said. 26. Did I write this wrong? Yep, I did. On my answer key, I wrote 29. Okay, 26. We'll fix that. And then we need to find big B as well. So big B represents the area of the base. So how do we find area of a triangle? Well, that is going to be on the back of your reference sheet. On the back side, there's a whole explanation about how to find big B based on what shape base you have. So here we have a triangular base, so we're the third option down. It says triangular base, big B is going to be the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle divided by 2. So just focusing on these triangles here, what is the base of our triangle? It is 10. And the height of our triangle is right here, 9 divided by 2. So 10 times 9 is 90 divided by 2 gives us 45. So now we have the two numbers we need. The last thing we need here is h. What is our perpendicular height? So just remember, the perpendicular height is not the height of the triangle. It's going to be the height or the length of the 3D shape coming off of the base. So here's our base, right? The triangle. Here's a length or height coming off of the base, and that is 12. So our perpendicular height here is 12. So we're going to say perimeter times height plus 2 times big B, which is 45. That's going to be our total surface area. Give me a moment to calculate this. 2 times 45 is 90. 26 times 12 is 312. Plus 90 gives us 402. So our total surface area is 402 centimeters squared. Awesome. Next one here, it says, given the net of the figure, find the lateral surface area. Lateral surface area. Okay, so what kind of figure do you think we have here? It has a point, and it looks like its base is a circle. If you guessed cone, that is correct. So we want lateral surface area. Okay, lateral surface area is pi r L, where L is the slant height. That's 17 here. And I bet you can guess that our radius is 3. When we put that into a calculator, we end up getting 160.22 meters centimeters squared. All right. All right, number 5. Here we have a rectangular prism. And it might do you some good to write down the names of these shapes, so make sure you are writing those names down. Now for the rectangular prism, we have a rectangular base. And in order to find the lateral surface area, looking at our formula sheet, it says lateral surface area is perimeter of the base times the perpendicular height. So how can we find the perimeter of this base here? Ignoring the 3D part of the figure, we're just looking at that rectangle on the bottom. Well, we have a side of 11, that means this other side is 11. A side of 3, that means this other side is 3. So we can say 3 plus 3 plus 11 plus 11. So that's 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. All right, so we get a perimeter of 28. And we also need the perpendicular height. Now remember, the perpendicular height is the height or the length that comes off of the base. So it's not 11, it's not 3, it's a side of the shape that comes off of the base. That's going to be our 4 centimeters right here. So lateral surface area is our perimeter times the height, which is 4, which will give us 112 centimeters squared. All right, now for the total surface area, it's asking for both. Total surface area formula is going to be that lateral surface area plus 2 times big B. Now we need to find big B. And if you remember, big B represents the area of the base. So how can we find area of a rectangular base? Well, on our formula sheet, it says base of that rectangle times height of that rectangle. So again, ignoring that 3D figure, we're looking just at the rectangle to find big B. Oh, no. All right, base of the rectangle is 11 times 3, which will give us 33. So we're going to take that lateral surface area, 112, plus 2 times 33. That's going to give us 178 centimeters squared. Okay, moving on. If I'm moving too fast, pause the video. All right, here we have a cone. And our lateral surface area formula of a cone is pi RL, where our radius is 5 and our slant height, well, it tells us our regular height is 12, but we want L, we want the side height, the slant height here. We want that. So let me draw it on this other side. This is the side we want, and this is our slant height. So essentially we have this triangle here with a base of 5, a height of 12, and we're looking for the hypotenuse. So what formula are we going to use? Pythagorean theorem. So using Pythagorean theorem, we can use a shortened version of it where we can say C, or L, our slant height, is the square root of 12 squared plus 5 squared. 12 squared is 144, 5 squared is 25. We'll add those together and then take the square root. So adding them together, we get 169. And when you take the square root of 169, you are left with 13. So our slant height here is 13. Perfect. So 5 times 13 times pi gives us a lateral surface area of 204.20 inches squared. And for our total surface area, we're going to take that lateral surface area and add pi r squared. We said our radius was 5, so pi 5 squared plus our lateral surface area, which was 204.2. Putting those together, we get 282.70 inches squared. Awesome. I'm sure you're doing a great job on this. Number 7. Here we have a square pyramid. So our formula for the lateral surface area of a square pyramid, lateral surface area is perimeter times slant height divided by 2. All right, so perimeter of our base, we have a square base. It says both sides are 2, so to find the perimeter, we would say 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 2, 4, 6, 8. So our perimeter is 8. Now we need to find our lateral, I'm sorry, I keep calling the L the lateral height, but it's the slant height. So our slant height is going to be the slanted side, but we don't have that here. We only have a straight height and a base. So we need to think about this. If we have a right triangle right here, the one from this pyramid, it says the height is 10. Well, it also says from here to here is 2. So what is half of that for this triangle? 1. So we need to use Pythagorean theorem to find the slant height. So again, we're going to say, I'm going to do it over here to the left. We're going to say square root of 10 squared plus 1 squared equals our slant height. Well, 10 squared is 100, 1 squared is 1. So we're taking the square root of 101, which ends up giving us a slant height of 10.05. That means here we're going to say 10.05. Okay, so when we do math, our lateral surface area gets to be 40.24. That's it, right? 40.2, just kidding. 40.2 squared. Okay, so when we do the math, we get 40.2 feet squared. And for total surface area, our formula from our formula sheet is going to be that lateral surface area plus 2 times big B. Remember, big B represents the area of the base. So how can we find area of a square? Well, 2 times 2. So big B is going to be 2 squared, which is 4. So we're going to take our lateral, 0.2, plus 2 times 4, and that's going to give us a total surface area of 48.2 squared. Awesome. Okay, number 8. Here we have a sphere. Now it tells us our diameter, the whole across, is 18. So what's our radius? 9. So for the sphere, we only have a total surface area formula because there's no bases. So the lateral surface area is the total surface area, in case you were wondering. 4 pi r squared, where r is 9. We put that in our calculator and we get 1,017.88 meters squared. All right, let's move on. Volume. All right, I like volume a lot better because I think it's just easier, and it's just all multiplication. No adding, no perimeter, no slant height. Just, I mean, I guess there is slant height, so sorry, but yeah, it's just I feel like volume is just so straightforward. So let's get started. Volume. We have here a square pyramid. Now for our square pyramid, our volume formula is big B times perpendicular height divided by 3. Now remember, big B represents the area of our base. And our base, the shape of the base, is always told to you by the name of the shape. So if this is a square pyramid, our base is a square. And how do we find the area of a square? We just need to know one of the sides, and we square it. So here, it actually doesn't tell us the length of this side here, but it tells us that half of it is 18. So if 2 halves are 18, what's the whole? 18 plus 18, 36. So if the sides are 36, we would say big B is 36 squared, which is 1296. So we're going to plug that in. What is our perpendicular height? Now our perpendicular height is going to be that 30 right there. So we're going to say volume equals 1296 times 30 divided by 3. That gives us a total of, oh wow, no dollars. I wish I had $12,000, but 12,960 meters cubed. All right, now we need to find the volume of the figure. Here we have a cone, and our cone formula is pi r squared times the perpendicular height divided by 3. So here our radius is 5 pi 5 squared, and our perpendicular height is, it's 8 divided by 3. Put that in our calculator and we get 209.44. Awesome. Next here we have a triangular prism. Now on the triangular prism, our base is a triangle because it's in the name. So in order to find volume of a prism, we need big B times perpendicular height, where big B represents the area of the base. So area of our base, which is a triangle, we look at the back of our formula sheet to find that big B for a triangle is going to be the base of that triangle times the height of that triangle. So here's the base of our triangle, 15, and the height of our triangle is 8. That gives us a big B of, oh, and then divided by 2. And that gives us a big B of 60. Now, we've already dealt with the base here. What is the perpendicular height of our 3D figure? It's not 15. It's not 8. It's 12. Perpendicular height is the length of the figure coming off of the base. So not the base, a side of the figure coming off of the base. So it touches the base, but it is not a part of the base. So that's going to be our perpendicular height. So we have 60 times 12, which gives us 720 centimeters cubed. Next one here, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided shape, which is a hexagon. This is a pyramid, or sorry, a prism. So we have a hexagonal prism. Now, for the hexagonal prism, of course, we're going to be using our volume of prism formula, which is B times H. And then, in order to find big B of a hexagon, we flip over to the back side of our formula sheet to find that it goes from square, rectangle, triangle, trapezoid, regular, polygon. That's us. The hexagonal prism, the base is a regular polygon. So it says big B is A, lowercase a, times capital P divided by 2. And I know we haven't used this, this formula or seen this figure a whole lot, But I swear to you, it is so easy. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, Miss O, I can do that on my own. So a lot of you were asking me the other day, what is A? Well, you know what? It tells you right on your formula sheet. At the bottom, it says lowercase a is a possum. And then you're like, what is an apothem? Well, look at the formula sheet. It says regular polygon is the base. It shows you a pentagon, and then it shows you a hexagon. And on the hexagon, it says this thing that kind of looks like a radius is your A, apothem. So apothem is basically the radius of a polygon. So yeah, that's our A. It gives it to you right there. Now we need to find P, the perimeter of our base. Well, our base is a hexagon, so that means there are 6 sides. And each side is 4 inches long. So we're going to say 4 times 6, which is 24. So our perimeter of the base is 24. Our apothem is 2. And now multiply. 24 times 2, oh, 3, I don't know where I got 2 from, divided by 2 is going to give us 36. So we're going to say back to volume, 36 times our perpendicular height. So we're looking for not the base, but a height or a length coming off of the base. If you guessed 6, you are correct. So 36 times 6 gives us 216 inches cubed. Awesome, good job so far. We are almost done. Number 5, we have a cylinder. And our cylinder volume formula, let me turn the page for my answer key. Our cylinder volume formula is volume equals pi r squared times perpendicular height. So what is our radius? 6. What is our perpendicular height? 14. And so when we multiply that, we get 1583.36 inches cubed. Okay, now number 6, find the volume of this figure. What figure is this? A sphere. It says the diameter is 16, so what's our radius? Half of that. We only want half of the whole length of the sphere. So half of 16 is 8. Our volume formula for the sphere is 4 pi r cubed divided by 3, where r is 18. Or I'm sorry, 8. 4 pi 8 cubed divided by 3. Putting that in your calculator and you get 2140.66 feet cubed. Awesome. Pause it if you need to. Number 7, find the volume of this composite figure. When I did this the first time, I got it wrong because all I did was find the volume of the cylinder. But when it says composite figure, that means there's 2 shapes put together. So we need to find the volume of the cone, and then we need to find the volume of the cylinder. And since the shape is inside the other shape, we are going to subtract. Shape inside a shape, subtract. Whereas this next one, we have a shape connected to another shape. Shape connected to a shape, add. Okay, so for the first one, we're going to find the volume of the cylinder, and then we're going to find the volume of the cone, and then we will subtract the 2. So starting with the cylinder, we have a formula of pi r squared h. Volume pi r squared h, where r is 4. and h is 10. Pi 4 squared 10. That gives us 502.65 meters cubed, right? Now we need to do the cone. Maybe I should make that a little smaller. Ooh. Shh. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to write this a little smaller. 502.6 meters cubed. That way we can still see the 10 there. I was covering it up. There we go. 6.5. Yep. Okay, now the cone. It's cone. We got pi r squared h divided by 3. So the radius here is still 4, and the height is still 10. Pi 4 squared times 10 divided by 3. Putting that in our calculator, we get 167.55. Oh, I wrote that in the wrong spot. The volume of the cone is that amount, but that is not the total volume. So now we're going to take our first number and subtract the cone. So 502.65 minus 167.55 gives us 335.1 meters cubed. Awesome. Last one. Last one here. We have a triangular prism and a rectangular prism. So for the triangular prism, we have a volume formula of volume equals big B times H, where big B represents the area of the base, which is a triangle. Area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So what is the base of our triangle? 4. What is the height of our triangle? 3 divided by 2 is 6. Now we need to say that times the perpendicular height h. So we want the height or length of the triangular prism. So we want a measurement that is coming off of the base. So that triangle is our base. These would be appropriate heights here. And it says that that number is 2. So 6 times 2, which is 12 for our triangular prism volume. Awesome. Now for the rectangular prism volume, we have the same formula, big B times H. But in this case, our base is a rectangle. We need to find big B being the area of a rectangle. So base of the rectangle times height of the rectangle. That's going to be 4 times 2. Now our height, our perpendicular height of our prism is also going to be not 2. Did I write that on my answer key? No, I didn't. Okay, good. Our height of the prism is going to be a height or length coming off of our rectangular base. So it's not 4, it is not 2. The height, the perpendicular height coming off of the base is 3. So to get our volume of the prism, we're going to say our 8 times 3, which is 24. So now we have our two volumes, 12 and 24. These shapes are connected, so we're going to add them. 12 plus 24 equals 36 centimeters cubed. All right, hopefully this helps you prepare for your test on Friday. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me or shoot me an email before the test, preferably. But yeah, don't forget to complete your review. Bring it in for your test so you can use it on your test. Yeah, good luck, and I'll see you at school. Bye.